Welcome to the Regional Hub webinar, Part 2. This webinar is a follow-up to the September 2020 Regional Hub webinar, Part 1, on the Early Connections website. Part 2 has been developed to assist individuals who are interested in becoming community leaders, hub partners, community stakeholders, or part of a leadership team, and have a vested interest in understanding the readiness stage of organizing a regional hub. Let's take a look at the agenda for today's webinar. Throughout this webinar, we will take a look at the current proposed regional hub areas in Missouri, the roles and responsibilities of individuals and organizations who plan to take part in the regional hub model, and the stages of implementing the model. We will also discuss the contract for regional hub readiness work, the deliverables included in the readiness checklist, and the resources and materials available on the Early Connections website. Missouri has identified the need for two community leaders in each proposed hub area. One community leader will represent the public school perspective, while the other provides the community service perspective. Looking at the map, the proposed regional hub areas are color-coded to distinguish where community leaders have been established. Currently, the green areas have two community leaders in place and are working through the readiness stage. The yellow areas have one community leader and are looking for a second community leader. The red areas have no community leaders. These proposed areas will become more defined at the end of the readiness stage as the community leaders work through a readiness checklist and determine how to meet the needs of the children and families in the proposed regional hub area. The proposed regional hub map is available on the Early Connections website, along with contact information for DESE staff assigned to each region. Please note the regional hub areas are proposed as we recognize that programs, services, and community connections do not follow set boundaries and may have to be adjusted in the future to meet the needs of children and families in Missouri. It is important to identify the key people or groups that will be doing the work of building support and promoting the regional hub model. This will be the work of many, and the list of people and organizations will evolve as part of the readiness stage. The following groups make up the regional hub team: two community leaders, as briefly discussed, one with a school district perspective and one with a community perspective, hub partners, community stakeholders, a leadership team, and a DESE hub team. For a regional readiness hub team to be successful, it requires partnerships with multiple community programs that provide early childhood services or resources to promote collaboration across the region. Partnerships may include public and private entities, families, home visitors, childcare providers, early interventionists, resource specialists, community health centers, health departments, and non-for-profit centers. Let's take a look at each to understand their roles more in depth. We will start with the role of the community leader in the readiness stage. A school district and an entity from the community will partner together as community leaders. Together, they will take time to connect, share information about themselves, the program they represent, and why they're choosing to step into the role of a community leader. This allows for both community leaders to find out more about each other and identify strengths that help move the hub area through the readiness activities. The school district will sign a contract with DESE as the community leader before they begin to work through the readiness activities. During this time, community leaders will work to build relationships with various early childhood programs and work to identify hub partners and community stakeholders in each of the counties identified in their hub area to ensure a broad perspective and approach to the work. The main role of the community leader is to organize and complete the readiness activities as part of the readiness checklist and handbook. Community leaders during the readiness activities will continue to promote the regional hub model in their designated area. Once community leaders are established, hub partners are identified. Hub partners are state partners in programs that provide direct service to young children and families. They may assist community leaders in developing relationships, resource mapping, and advise community leaders throughout the readiness process. Hub partners work together to coordinate and align policies, procedures, and program activities to provide equitable access for families in a regional hub model. For examples on possible state hub partners, view the Regional Hub Readiness Handbook on the Early Connections website. Once hub partners are determined, they will assist community leaders in determining a broad group of community stakeholders. Community stakeholders can be individuals who have an interest in supporting young children and their families. This group includes family members, as well as home visitors, childcare providers, early interventionists, resource specialists, public schools, community health centers, health departments, non-for-profit centers, and other public or private entities that provide direct service to children and families. Community stakeholders assist with identifying additional hub partners by building relationships in the proposed hub areas. Community stakeholders play a big role in assisting with activities 2, 3, and 4 listed on the Readiness Checklist and in the Regional Hub Readiness Handbook found on the Early Connections website that we will discuss in more detail in this webinar. Once community stakeholders are determined, hub partners and community leaders will work together to determine a leadership team. The leadership team should be members who are closely connected to the work, who have existing work that aligns closely with the regional hub model, and who have a vested interest in the success of the regional hub. The leadership team work directly with the community leaders to collect and analyze data. They identify barriers and challenges and present recommendations and assist in providing final recommendations to DESE after all readiness activities are completed. These tasks are all part of the Readiness Checklist activities 7, 8, 9, and 10. To further assist community leaders in the readiness stage, a team of DESE staff is assigned to each proposed hub area. DESE staff collaborate with regional hub consultants and community leaders to assist with completing readiness activities. DESE staff also serves as readiness contract managers and conduct check-ins with community leaders throughout the readiness stage to hear the successes, strategies, and discuss any roadblocks community leaders have identified. The DESE Hub team ensures community leaders have the information needed to keep moving forward in the readiness stage. As part of the Hub team, DESE contracts with regional Hub consultants that assist with identifying early care and education programs across the state. They assist community leaders with outreach and building relationships, along with helping to complete readiness activities in the regional areas. Regional Hub consultants are a great resource for community leaders to contact when questions arise about the readiness activities. Reach out to the DESE contact located on the proposed regional hub map for more details about which regional hub consultant can offer assistance in your area. DESE has identified 3 stages to creating a regional hub model. It's using implementation science. These stages are readiness, startup, and implementation. Currently, community leaders in the proposed regional hub areas are in the readiness stage. The goal of the readiness stage is to build community support for the hub model and provide strong community partnerships. The first stage of readiness is key to the success in the formation of regional hub models throughout the state. Stages 2 and 3 are contingent on what community leaders discover as they work through the readiness checklist and the information submitted in a final report of findings to DESE. To begin the readiness stage, community leaders identified in a proposed regional hub area enter into a contract with DESE to complete readiness work. The school district community leader is the entity that signs the readiness contract with DESE in agreement with the second community leader. The readiness contract is important because it supports the regional hub goal for coordinating early care and education systems with a place for every family to access resources and services promoting safety, health, and education for children. The readiness contract also assists with coordinating administrative activities and compiling information to increase families' awareness of and access to early childhood programs, and conducting outreach activities to increase understanding and community support of early childhood. Thinking back to the proposed regional hub map presented earlier, the colors coded green currently have a readiness contract in place. This means these areas are actively working on the 10 activities outlined in the readiness checklist and the readiness handbook. The areas labeled yellow and red on the proposed map are not under a readiness contract until 2 community leaders can be identified. Questions about the readiness contract can be directed to the Hub contact person listed on the Regional Hub map located on the Early Connections website. We have mentioned the readiness checklist numerous times throughout this webinar, so let's take a look at what it consists of. The readiness checklist is a list of 10 key readiness activities that focus on building support for the hub model in a proposed area. It's preparing the community, identifying resources, engaging stakeholders, and collecting and analyzing data that ultimately informs the final recommendation made by the community leaders. Community leaders work through the readiness stage using the checklist. On the readiness checklist, the first 6 items focus primarily on community leaders' roles. Community leaders begin the readiness stage by educating themselves on the regional hub model. Through meetings, conversations, and research, community leaders will find more resources, services, and support for this work. Community leaders then identify hub partners and community stakeholders in the proposed area. The goal of this activity is to expand outside of the community leaders' existing community or area and find stakeholders across all of the proposed hub region. It is important to utilize a diverse stakeholder group to help fill in the gaps and identify additional resources or services that could be part of a regional hub. Once a team of hub partners and stakeholders is established, a process for keeping the team informed is important. A communication plan for how the community leaders will share information to the group, what pieces of information will be communicated, like agendas or meeting minutes, and the frequency of the communication is important to discuss. This group should be informed of the progress community leaders are making as stakeholders and partners have a vested interest in the regional hub model or are affected by the outcome. A system for sharing challenges and successes should also be in place to inform this group of progress in the regional hub model. Community leaders also determine how decisions will be made once hub partners and community stakeholders are identified. Will there be a voting process or a core group that will make the decisions with input from the larger stakeholder group? Community leaders should hold monthly meetings in the hub area to inform partners and stakeholders about the plan to coordinate services and supports for families with children birth to age 5 in an effort to improve school readiness. After hub partners and community stakeholders have been informed and educated about the hub, community leaders will begin developing a comprehensive list of community services and resources in the hub area. This is known as resource mapping. Community leaders will identify and chart community resources used by families with young children in the proposed hub area. They will want to use this expertise of the hub partnerships and the community stakeholders in the designated area to help gather information about services and resources. Resource information may be available from state agencies, home visiting programs, a public school partner, the Chamber of Commerce, or any other entity. This progress can help improve the alignment, coordination, and delivery of services in the hub area. The Readiness Handbook outlines potential resource categories for this activity. Community leaders also assess the level of interest and buy-in from hub partners and community stakeholders. Community leaders should communicate the need and benefits of the regional hub model and the effect it will have on the proposed hub area. Community leaders should allow multiple avenues to capture feedback information for hub partners and community stakeholders in either face-to-face or virtual meetings using questionnaires, having phone interviews, or other methods. Sample questions to guide meetings are located in the Readiness Handbook. Community leaders will also collect surveys from partners and stakeholders to gather feedback about the goals of the hub. To assist with the readiness work, community leaders will form a diverse leadership team. The leadership team should be a subcommittee of hub partners and community stakeholders from Readiness Item 2, whose day-to-day work aligns with the regional hub model and could help guide the community leaders and assess the readiness activities. This team is a critical part of stakeholders or partners who are interested in taking a more active role in hub work. Community leaders will be charged with selecting these individuals based on understanding, involvement, and desire to promote the hub area. This team will assist in analyzing data and reviewing barriers and solutions to programs, services, and resources that are available in the hub area. The leadership team will assist with activities 7 through 10 of the readiness checklist. Once a leadership team is determined, they will collect data using information and records that exist through several data sources, including, but not limited to, census data, child count, and community health rankings. Collecting data allows community leaders to understand the community and what services and resources are available to serve families birth through age 5. The leadership team will assist in analyzing the data collected to identify areas in the hub that may need additional support, services, and resources. Community leaders will need to use this data to inform future decisions about the regional hub and identify barriers or challenges to programs, services, and resources in the area. From this information, possible solutions are recognized and documented. The leadership team will then present recommendations to the hub partners and community stakeholders. These recommendations may include counties that should be included in the regional hub area, location of the regional hub, if it is deemed that a brick and mortar building is needed versus a virtual hub option, agency that should administer the regional hub, and the name of the hub administrator. Feedback is collected from hub partners and community stakeholders and used to submit a final recommendation to DESE, along with the presentation and materials and/or documents that have been completed during the readiness process. The final recommendations to DESE should document how all families with young children can be connected to services and resources available in the proposed regional hub area. Now that we understand more about the readiness stage, let's look at the current resources available on Early Connections website to assist community leaders and hub team members. On the Early Connections website, under the What We Do tab, there is a collective impact video that all community leaders should view and share with members of the hub team. There is also the Regional Hub Documents tab that includes resources to help work through the readiness stage. As a reminder, a regional hub contract must be finalized before community leaders begin working through the readiness stage. Individuals can also access this webinar along with additional webinars and the regional hub map discussed earlier on this webpage. When clicking on the Regional Hub Documents tab shown on the previous slide, community leaders will find the Regional Hub definition, which gives a brief overview of the purpose and activities that impact hubs. This one-page document is a great resource to use to assist individuals in the community to understand why the regional hub model is important and the overall goal of the model for Missouri. The last two resources must be utilized by community leaders as part of the readiness stage. The readiness checklist shared previously and the Hub Readiness Handbook, which provides more in-depth guidance on the readiness checklist items. They should be shared and they should be used with all hub team members in the readiness stage. For additional questions on regional hub model or readiness stage, contact the DESE Hub contact located on the regional hub map found on the Early Connections webpage. Thank you for taking time to learn more about the regional hub model and the readiness stage. To stay informed on updates and additional resources, join our mailing list on the Early Connections website.